Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Shintaro Higashi Show with Peter Yu. Today, we're going to talk about the best training format in judo or any sort of grappling art.
Grappling, yeah. Yeah, so this was a suggestion from one of our patrons on Discord, Sam. He said he wanted to know how Shintaro likes to structure classes for different levels of experience or
Yeah,
competition prep, kids classes, and all that stuff. So what is the
yeah,
best format, training format for those different
yeah.
use cases? Yeah.
So
So
there's high training, high level training, right?
yeah.
And every format of high level training I've ever seen sort of out there, it's sort of the same
You mean like in different
format.
gyms or sport across sports?
No, in judo, we're talking about
In
judo
judo,
specifically.
okay.
Yeah. And then, because a lot of those guys don't need dedicated instruction time. A
Right,
lot of
right,
those. They
right.
just need mat time a lot of the times. They need systems and they need just refining that system and then drilling, right? Drilling,
Mhm,
drilling, randori, randori.
mhm.
Oh, I'm hurt today. Let me work on these drills or sort of like deliberate practice where you're like putting yourself into certain positions and then
Right.
going live from there, right? So we're gonna kind of put that aside, okay?
Yeah,
Because I think most people are talking about how to structure kids classes
yeah.
and then classes like that's with general population
Or
or gen
yeah,
pop classes, right? Where you
yeah,
have mixed white belt, yellow belt, because that's generally the population
yeah,
of judo.
yeah,
And a lot of jujitsu schools and stuff have much more population in the United States
yeah,
specifically, right? The US is unique because it's a commercially driven service product we're talking about.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
It's not like we're talking about learning judo in Japan. We got 100 kids and they're all paying whatever
yeah,
it is, or France. It's different.
yeah.
We're talking about the US, right? Where you're
Mhm.
paying for the service through membership and whatnot. Okay.
Yeah,
And majority of the people who are listening to this fall into the category of I'm going to training today
yeah.
in a mixed class.
Right.
And that should be formatted differently. And
Yeah,
there's many ways I've seen it, and then my strong, strong opinions about that.
yeah.
So
We
you
love
gotta
your
look at it in
strong
three.
opinions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You gotta look at it in sort of three different segments. What do we want to talk
yeah.
about first?
So let's do Gen Pop first because that's the most relevant. Uh,
Okay, gotcha.
yeah,
All right. So two most important things I can say about the Gen Pop class, right?
yeah,
Is everybody's participating.
yeah,
Okay. Total engagement.
yeah,
That's number one for first and foremost.
yeah.
For total engagement and then differentiated instruction. Those are the two biggest things.
I see. What do you
Yeah,
mean
and
by
everything
total
you
engage?
do, total
Yeah.
engagement. All right, for instance,
Like, do people like? Have you seen cases where people just kind of lose focus
yes,
in
and the
class? Yeah,
most
really?
common
Oh,
place where people lose focus
yeah,
is when the coach or the sensei or whoever it is start rambling off about whatever throw that they're going to learn and teach. And then some
uh,
people are like, I've seen this before. Oh, I've known this. I already know
right.
this. And they start wandering off and their eyeballs start following, like an insect on the wall or something like this. And then
Yeah,
you're counting the tiles on the ceiling or you already
uh,
lost them. They're not engaged.
right,
Okay.
right.
All right, guys, let's do uchi-komi. Half the class is doing it. Half the class is talking about what they did last weekend. They're not engaged,
Uh,
right? They
so
need to be
there are different.
engaged at all times. That's my biggest metrics when I'm teaching a class is everyone in the room right now at any given time engaged.
There are different points of disengagement. You're saying so, like
Different
during
types of disengagement.
instructions. Yeah, let's kind of go
Instructions
through
is where
those
I
then.
see the most,
Most, yeah,
it's the most egregious one
yeah,
because whoever's talking and teaching, I'm so important. I'm a freaking black belt. Everyone should be listening
yeah,
to how I do my taio. But this is the thing, right? That guy already taught this taio 19 million times.
yeah,
If they're not the head guy in the head guy in the gym probably taught it, so they probably heard it from the head guy already.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right, right.
So it's nothing new. And then if you're a black belt, all your black belt peers are already tuned out,
Yeah.
And it happens to the best of us, right? I've taught like something before, and George is on the sidelines drilling something else.
George, what are you doing?
And he does this shit all the time. And then sometimes it's like benign as like, hey, George, it's very nice that you've already mastered what I'm showing today.
Yeah.
What are you working on now? You know what I mean?
Uh,
Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's playful. Sometimes like, no, George, you really need to learn this thing because,
yeah.
right?
It'll help you.
Yeah. But so different points of disengagement happen all the time. And you can see it in the gyms. And then if you're so focused on your teaching skills or teaching abilities or whatever it is, or I want to say this, I want to say that, you're not really in tune and reading everyone's faces, looking at, see if everyone's actually paying attention.
Right. So how do you structure your instructions like that? Like, do you just change it up? Uh, I know you've always talked about keeping it very short and
Keeping it
concise.
short. And that's not
Yeah,
always the case for me. I break my own rules sometimes, right?
yeah.
But I can do that.
Why? Be
Master
the
at this.
master. 10 to
Yeah.
20 years. We talked about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. 10 to 20 years we talked about this. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but whatever, I guess what you're saying is it's kind of the principle. The principle is that you need to have everyone engaged,
Everyone engaged. People have an
and
attention span. Yeah.
yeah, they're very different. I mean, there are many different methods that you
There are
can
many different
do.
methods.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Folk.
that, and
Mm,
then, yeah. So it's 3 minutes. That's like, you know, what I tell most people is like, hey, your instruction should not be more
yeah.
than 3 minutes. 3 minutes
y-
apiece, go try it 5 minutes. 3 minutes apiece, go try it for 5 minutes. When you're trying it for 5 minutes,
Yeah.
okay, a lot can happen in that time period. Some people get it
Yeah.
right away. Most people don't,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
People who get it right away, boom, they're going to be bored. They're not going to be engaged anymore. They're going to be doing
Yeah.
some of their own shit. And
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes they could like self-direct and be like, oh, I want to try this other thing that may relate
Mm,
to this. And they can just engage themselves on their own,
yeah.
right? If they cannot, and they've already mastered it right away, boom, because there's something that, like, let's just say, for instance, like fake turn throw, kochi, cut the hand, say, you drop. That's
Yeah.
what I showed. Simple
Yeah.
combination, right?
Yeah.
I don't use, yeah, simple. You could picture it.
Simple. Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
picture it. And for those who need it a little bit slower, right? Fake turn throw, kochi, cut the hand. He
Uh,
tries to return the hand to the collar. You do drop senagi,
right.
right? You could get it right away in 2 seconds. Bang, you're going to be bored. If I
Right.
let you on the side for 5 minutes, what are you going to do? You specifically.
I usually try to do what's being taught to be polite.
You'll do it for a little bit, but then you start messing around. 2 minutes in, guarantee you. You just sit there, you just get depending on who you're working out with,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Sure.
If it's
Yeah.
Eugene, I swear to God to you, you would be like this. So how's Alina? How's everything?
Oh.
What's
Oh
going on?
yeah. Oh hell
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And then
What do you
usually like,
want? Where
great.
do you want to
Yeah,
go after for dinner? You
yeah.
know?
Yeah. And usually be like, yeah, how's work? And be like, oh man, this fucking PhD. Guess
Yeah.
what? Yeah, you're not really engaged. You're engaged socially in
Right.
a different way. And then if
Uh-huh.
that's happening there, the next person over, whoever that is, will be influenced by that.
Right. It is contagious.
It's
Yeah.
contagious. So it's
Yeah.
like, all right, I may walk down to that side of the dojo and be like, all right, apply the same idea with a Korean senagi. How can we do this?
Mm,
That can create that.
yeah.
So now it's a little bit of a puzzle. That's differentiated specifically for you, and that'll keep you engaged for at least 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can completely just leave you, right?
Yeah.
And then
Because I'll
walk
do
down the
something. Yeah. Yeah.
yes, walk down the path, and then I'll see a white belt that's definitely not going to get this.
Yeah.
100% not going to get this. That person may already have been paired with someone who kind of gets it. Be like, yo, can you just show him senagi?
Mm.
I
I
would
see.
love
It's like
to.
a lower the level of difficulty. Yeah.
Yes. Or hey, just work on turn senagi kochi. Just do
Mhm.
that. That's one chunk. And then all you
Do
gotta
you?
do is break that hand.
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh, you don't know drop senagi?
Mm-hmm.
Do taitoshi. That's it. You know taio? Yeah, I do. Okay, just show that.
Mm. I see.
Yeah. And then, you're walking down and you're giving like little bits and pieces to keep everyone engaged. 5 minutes max, right? That's all you could do because you're independently interacting with each little group if they need it. If they need it. Okay. If they're engaged and kind of doing it and figuring it out, and then you don't want to break their thought.
Right.
Right. And then instructors are guilty this whole time. Hey, let me show you, man. You're pinky not doing the
Oh,
right
that's
thing.
interesting.
And you're breaking their thought pattern. You're interrupting them.
So it's better so you don't really stop them when they're making mistakes?
Unless it's egregious, no.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Because let me tell you something. They're engaged.
Right. That's more
It's like
important than
classroom
yeah.
management,
Yeah.
If you're teaching math across the board in the classroom, right? And then some kids are just like, you got to help those kids kind of, right?
Yeah.
Because those kids who are disengaged, like, I don't get this quadratic formula, right? And they're
Yeah.
just sitting there doodling.
Mm-hmm.
If they're not interrupting anyone, it's like, okay, do I really want to engage this kid? But that kid's going to fall behind and going to cause trouble down the line,
Right.
right? So you kind of have to interact with that kid. You know what I
I
mean?
see.
If that kid starts acting up and walking around the classroom and stuff, and then messing around with the chalkboard like I used to, right? The teacher needs to discipline that and address that behavior right away,
Yeah.
right?
Like, nip it in the bud. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. And in that
Mm.
5 minute period, I'm guilty of this time all the time. Sometimes I go to the sideline and then check my Tinder profile. Right? That's not
Where's
really
your engagement?
Sometimes that's right. We can't all be perfect,
Yeah.
But as an instructor, that's how you should be teaching the class. You're always right.
The goal is to get everyone engaged. Like they don't necessarily
Goal,
have to do
yes.
the right thing.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I guess if you're engaged, eventually they'll pick it up. I
Yeah.
guess.
And let me tell you
Yeah.
something. Majority of the time, if you're just standing there talking the whole time, you're not
Yeah.
engaged. How about this
Right.
one? When you're doing forward rolls down the gym, right? 80% of the class is just standing on the wall.
Right. 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 Right.
I
Yeah.
kind of hate that. I don't like that at all.
You
They're
still
not
do it though.
engaged. I do do it sometimes because
Yeah.
I make up for it in other ways. If it's that kind of thing repeatedly throughout the class, it's no good. Right?
Right.
But it's one time, that's it. And I'm very,
Right.
very aware of this.
That's the only time people are just walking around. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, if you apply this in the kids' class, you see this all the time. All right, guys, sit in a circle and we're going to have two kids come up and demonstrate each technique.
Very bad, I'm assuming.
Biggest waste of time I've ever
Yeah.
seen in my life.
Yeah.
That's when I used to be lost. I used to start daydreaming. What
Uh,
kid's gonna sit there for freaking 15 minutes, one kid after another kid doing their thing? Some kids are freaked out. Like, oh man, I'm
yeah.
gonna go up. I'm so nervous. Like they're
Right.
just sitting there freaking out the whole time. Some kids are
Yeah.
like bored out of their mind. Some kids are like zoned out. Like, and then it's like, all right, John, it's your turn. Little Johnny. Little Johnny comes over like, what were we doing
More
again?
than
You know? And that
Yeah.
reflects poorly on you because the kids are not engaged.
Yeah. Right.
Right?
So
So it's about total engagement all the time and then differentiated instruction. Literally, like the differentiated instruction, I got a master's in teaching.
yeah.
And they could have just told me that. That's the only thing I got out of that program, literally. Right?
The
You have the
bit
differentiated instruction. I'm like, okay, all right. And some kids are good at English, some kids are not.
Yeah.
You got to challenge the
Right.
ones that are very good. And then you got to dumb it down for the kids who are dumb and
Yeah.
not getting it, you know?
Yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
I'm assuming the same principle applies to kids. It's a good you already mentioned kid class.
Yeah.
What so do you still do 3 minutes and 5 minute practice like
Probably
drilling
shorter
with
for kids.
kids? Shorter for
It's
kids?
shorter for
Yeah.
kids. Like, hey, a lot of it is like, hey, man, you guys ever see Batman flip someone? Yeah. All right, let me show you
Yeah.
that throw. Ippon Senagi.
Yeah.
Go. We'll try this out. We're not throwing yet. We're going to do this. And then you kind of tell them what's next,
Yeah.
right? You always like leave them with like, all right, we're going to try this move. And then sometimes it doesn't work because the person reacts back. Well, what are we going to
Yeah.
do then? Right. And then kids will do this. Oh, last week I was working out with this kid and he going to go do that. And then, you know, he went. And so I went, I'm like, no, you know what? You can tell me later. Okay. Tell me on the side. Let's go, partner. And I cut that off because you don't want a kid rambling
Like
and then boring everyone else. The kids are not engaged now. They're not engaged
Yeah.
because that kid, probably a nice kid, doesn't have anything interesting to say. No, really.
Yeah.
I'm curious, right, to see what he knows, but not at the cost of everybody
Other
else's
kids,
engagement in
yeah.
the room.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, one time, Johnny, I'll tell me in 2 seconds. Okay. All right,
Yeah.
everyone grab your partner. We'll start drilling it. And then, you know, we have an instructor on the mat each or whatever the format is.
Yeah.
Johnny, what is it that you need to tell me? Ippon Senagi, what happened? Coachy?
Yeah.
That's very good. I like that. That's amazing. You know,
Oh, yeah.
sometimes I'll do like, oh, you know what? Why don't you tell your parents?
Yeah.
Your dad wants to know, why don't you teach this to your parents?
Yeah.
Sometimes I go coachy like this and they'll open up the thing. I was like, you know what? Why don't you show your mom? Why don't you show your mom? Get her to do a little judo. Try it out at home. Okay. It's like, I already know judo, man, you know? Right? But so it's shorter for the kids. You got to cut off that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Right. And it's always moving. And then in terms of like active engagement all the time, if they're moving and having fun, they're going to be engaged no matter what. So with
Right.
the kids, it's like one activity, another activity, Batman throw. Okay, person resists. You're going to teach Koichi. Okay. Next, hey guys, do this. And then we're going to do it real on the mat. We're going to throw it on the
Right.
crash mat. That's next. Okay. And then if we're very good at that, we're going to do this. We'll do some randori. It'll be really fun. You know, Johnny, we're going to do kids round. We're going to do tachiwaza rounds. The adults. It's going to be amazing. Bang, 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 moving. Always
Right.
have something going. And then you have to be able to adjust and be flex with it, right? If some kid is messing around, he's not having a good time, you got to be able to adjust and then, right?
Yeah. The and then you run the kid classes for you are generally shorter, I'm assuming, because of that?
It's shorter for sure,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And some parents want a little bit of a longer 1 hour
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But, you know, to be on for an hour straight and do it for, I mean, I don't even teach the kids anymore,
Yeah.
you know, but like to be on for an hour back to back and then teach 3, 4 kids classes, they're very difficult for most people.
Yeah.
you
A
know?
lot of
And so,
energy,
yeah,
yeah.
a lot of energy. So there is like a little bit of like a warm up, Ukemi,
Yeah,
Zempo, and every time there's some little isms that you throw
yeah,
in there, you know. And here's a good one. Like, all right, guys, we're gonna do sprints. Why are we doing sprints? Because let's just say you don't like judo, you play soccer. What are some skills that you could take away from judo? Right, we're
yeah,
working on your athleticism overall because athleticism is very important for judo.
yeah,
And it's for
yeah,
important for any sport
right.
you've ever gonna do. Right, it may not be judo. Maybe who knows what it is. Maybe soccer.
Mm,
You know,
yeah,
maybe dance. I don't know. But let's take away something that's good from judo practice. Right, it's gonna help you carry over and all this stuff. And then those kinds of messages for the parents.
right, right, right.
Right, because if the parents are engaged and they find it interesting, they're gonna make sure that their kids are involved in it.
Also, you worry about I mean, I think we kinda talked about this in another episode, but uh, you also care about parents' engagement parents who are there to watch?
Yes and no.
Uh-huh.
The annoying parent that don't really want to engage with that much, the
Uh-huh.
longer they're on the phone, the better. Yeah.
Right,
But you know what? We don't get too many of them.
right.
You know what I
I
mean?
see,
And
I see.
like I said before, sometimes, those parents want to see their kid do stuff,
Yeah, yeah,
but they want to use that time smart and answer emails and such.
yeah.
So I'll do those guys a favor if I like them and say, hey, Johnny's up for sprints. Mat 1. Johnny's up.
And
Johnny's
they'll
dad.
look, yeah.
Yeah, they'll be like, Johnny's up. And then he'll see it and then he'll do the thing. And the kid gets a lot of attention for that 10 seconds or so. And dad gets to see it, take pictures. And he's like, you know what? My kid's doing great. And he get back to doing his thing.
Do they
Right. That way I'm like doing them a favor. Hey, engage a little bit. And they're engaged in their own way. And then they get
yeah.
to engage themselves in other things. Right. So
Mhm.
then sometimes it's like, all right, for instance, like if there's a parent in the room, and I want them to watch the judo, like I'll make them do judo mat 1 because it's right there. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And when I hold up the kids, I'll make sure I'm facing the parents so they could hear my
Yeah.
tips, what
Voice.
I'm giving to
Yeah.
yeah. So in terms of that, like I was really, really good at this. But you can't teach all the classes. You know what I mean?
Especially when you're a
Yeah.
master like yourself.
I'm just a master. And this is the thing. If you teach like this, sometimes it's hard to scale
Yeah.
because there's too many little
Yeah.
things. You know what I mean? So if you're listening to this and you kind of want to implement some of this stuff, right? The first thing I'm gonna say, have a structure of like warm up, break falls, whatever it is, right?
Mhm.
Your instruction, no more than 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, and 5 minutes. Okay.
Mm.
Everyone's actively doing something.
Yeah.
Okay. And at the very end of it, you have to make sure everyone has broken a sweat because majority of the people are there to work out.
Right.
Work out. I don't give a shit about how good your title is. Nobody, right? I'm here to work out. 9 times out of
Yeah.
10, my end game is working out. Okay. If you get anything that anyone ever says why they do martial arts, I want to get in shape. I want to feel better about myself. I want to be able to defend myself. All those things really come back to me. I want to be a better athlete.
Yeah.
I want to be bigger, stronger, faster, leaner. I want to feel good about myself. And that is not sitting there learning about your shitty Taitoshi. It's not. It,
Brutal.
it is not, man.
Brutal.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, that is the reality.
That's the
Yeah. I
reality.
go there to work out.
So even
Yeah.
it's like, all right, guys, we're gonna do 20 of your favorite turn throws fast. This is the last exercise of the class. Okay.
Yeah.
We've done our throws, we've done our uchi-komi, and this is like a 7 to 8 p.m. sort of a situation. Randori comes after you send all the beginners home, if you can support that kind of a thing. All right.
Yeah.
All right, that's what we're gonna do. 10 speed uchi-komis, 5 push-ups. Other person goes 10 speed uchi-komi, 5 push-ups. We're gonna put 2 minutes on the clock, and that's what you're gonna do. That's your exercise, high intensity interval training.
Mm.
It's one set.
Right, right.
You're gonna break a sweat, right?
Yeah. Everyone feels good. That
Everyone
because
feels good.
what they came for has been fulfilled. Yeah.
Yes, and their central nervous system gets jacked up at 8 p.m. and they're not able to go to sleep till 2.
That's that's
So
when you
people want to
drink.
work out.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
look at ballet,
Yeah.
any ballet class, whether it's beginner, intermediate, advanced,
Uh,
okay, you teach into the middle of the room and you're
yeah.
doing some differentiated stuff, but you're
Yeah.
totally engaged and it's a 90-minute class, bro.
Oh shit, was it that long? I
Yeah.
don't yeah.
Here's the
You know,
combination. Yeah.
see, I don't even remember it being that long because I was totally engaged.
Yeah. And even
It
if you're
was a lot of fun.
disengaged,
Yeah.
you're just sitting there checking out all the girls. Yeah, trying to
That's,
make eye
yeah,
contact, giving out high fives and shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Well, think about it. All right. First exercise. What are we doing? We're doing our Tandoos, front, back, side, whatever. Plie. Okay, first position, second position. All right, go ahead, try it. Boom. We're gonna put the music. Music go. Bang. Music goes, and you're doing the fucking thing, front, back, side, whatever.
yeah.
All right, what do we do now? You know? Okay, let's work on a plie. First position. All right, this is the combination. Everyone do it. Literally, dude, it's like 30 seconds of instruction,
Uh,
2 minutes of doing it, 30 seconds of instruction, 2 minutes of doing it. Bang, 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 all throughout.
right.
Okay. And then later on, as you're getting warm, combinations get a little bit longer, right? Well, let's do the cross floor. We're going to move across the floor doing
Yeah.
this thing, right? Try it. And then you get little differentiated. Hey, your pirouette, keep your body upright. Hey, close your ribs. Hey, upright, right? Don't bend over, right? Hey,
Uh-huh.
better turn up, right? Point your toes out a little bit, right? Differentiated instruction as the person gets disengaged, right? People were like, oh shit, I suck. No, you're doing great. You're doing great. You know, come on, let's go. Ladies, move it along, right? And it's just
Yeah.
constant class management, total engagement, class management, differentiated instruction. You know, I didn't
Do
learn this
they
from ballet, but like, you know, they do a very good job with this. They could support 40 people in a class back to back all day long. They have classes from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. All
uh,
day they have classes. And then people come back, no one gets hurt,
yeah.
everyone's engaged, people go work out.
What a
Dude,
cash
it's
cow.
so much of a
Yeah.
better business than judo. Why can't judo be like that? It should be. It should be, right? Because
Yeah.
randori is not for everybody.
It is not. Yeah.
Yeah, it
It
should be
is
the
not.
smallest piece of your training if you're between white and green belt.
Oh. Hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to admit that because judo, the big thing, the big differentiator, I guess, in a way, from other martial arts was that judo does randori.
Yeah, no, you
It's
have to do
like
randori
that.
eventually. And you got to do
Yeah.
some sort of randori. But
Yeah.
it can't be in a toxic setting where the guy who's standing at the top with their
Yeah.
survivorship bias is like, ah, if you don't do this, you're, you know,
Right.
right? You can't have that. It's just too toxic,
Yeah.
it's too dangerous. You know, you got to look at the room and see who's in the room
Uh-huh.
and adjust accordingly. You know, no one
Right.
wants to hear you talk for 30 minutes straight.
So now talking about randori, how
Yeah.
about for competition training, high level training?
High level
Like
training like this.
we've done that. We've done that. You've done that yourself. You've been on both ends.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would be the best way? Or does
All
it
right.
even make sense for most of the dojos?
I mean, kind of, sort of, not really, right? I'll give
Yeah.
you an example. Tokyo Grand Slam just happened. I went to
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
Going there, Team USA practice before because you're not doing the camp beforehand. Ed
Yeah.
Liddy's there. Ed Liddy's like, all right, guys, we're gonna do training today,
Uh,
right? Ed Liddy's a master coach. He was an Olympian
yeah.
himself. He's an amazing guy. You know, what's he gonna teach us today? You know, he goes like this, all right, guys, start jogging. All right, uchi-komi.
Right.
Combination. Moving uchi-komi down the mat. Okay. Let's drill a little bit. Let's do some grip fighting. Okay, transition to Newa. Let's drill it. All right, and if you guys want to do some randori, you can do some randori. Go ahead. Who
Very
needs to cut weight?
self-driven.
Who needs
Yeah.
to cut weight? You need to cut weight? All right, go ahead. Anybody have any
Uh-huh.
questions? Eddie, can you show me that thing that you did with the gripping? I was gripping with you just, you know, 10
Yeah.
minutes ago, and you kind of like outgrip me like here. What I did?
Yeah.
All right, let me show you how it's done. Right? Bang, 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 bang. And, you know, he'll preface and stuff like that. You're not going to learn it right away, you know. We got to drill
Yeah.
it, whatever it is. And this is what I did. I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's something for me to work on when I get back to New York.
Yeah.
Who actually had Liddy's
Mm.
from New York too, man. He's a Bronx guy. Did you know this?
Oh, I didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah. We have similar roots in New York.
New York is a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, like that's a practice for everyone. Everyone gets what they need, whether it's cutting or drilling or doing some light randori. You know,
Mhm.
you're exchanging ideas with your fellow teammates because you know when you're on the U.S. team, they're from all over the place. They're not just from one
Yeah.
place. Some are from
Yeah.
Pedro's, some are from the Olympic Training Center, some are from Florida, and some are from California.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so like you kind of doing that, and that's just how it is. You know, the goal of those things is not to like make leaps and bounds of new information to add to your game. It's just to refine, and
Yeah.
share ideas and get a workout in and cut weight, you know? And then, you have the training camp afterwards. And the training camp's always the same too. It's like, all right, guys, this is even less directed. Tokyo Grand
Like
Slam training camp. I guarantee you right now there's a camp going on right now. Not right now because it's 10 p.m. in Japan.
Yeah.
But like, I bet you they had a workout already
Yeah.
Monday
It's
morning.
probably just randori, you know?
Yeah. All right, guys, start jogging. 10 minutes on the clock. Everyone's
Yeah.
jogging around in the Kodokan, right?
Mm.
Jogging around for 10 minutes, right? All right, uchi-komi. 10 minutes on the clock. They'll say something like this. Lightweights go to dojo 1, you know, middleweights can go to dojo number 2. Women go to dojo number 3, right? And then, 90 and above stay up here in the main dojo. And this is what we're gonna do, guys. 20 rounds of 5,
Go.
go. And then we'll do Nawaz afterwards. Maybe sometimes we do certain Nawaz first. It's all randori. And then
Right.
everyone's self-directed. I remember Renier was on the mat with me once at the Tokyo Grand Slam. He only worked out it with his guys.
Oh, you didn't even wanna
He had like 3 guys that he worked out with on rotation, and they were like
uh,
middleweights, and then he would like drill his stuff, do like randori, and then he'll go with
uh,
like 1 or 2 dudes. Actually, when I was there, he was working out with let's say Iliadis,
oh, yeah?
but they're buddies. They're not going hard. They're not, just
Yeah.
kind of right.
Right, right, right.
And then the young guy, the young Georgian guy who's never been on the circuit before, is there doing every single randori with anyone he could put his
Everyone.
hands on.
Yeah.
Right? That's a different goal. Every one of these guys know exactly what they need to do out there. Usually because of the coach that they had on the sidelines, like, hey, this is what
Yeah.
you need to do today. This is your goal. Right. So it's a little bit different. It's not
But
like
so
going in
this
there.
is like top guys, they're all you don't need to worry about engagement here because this is
No,
their life.
they're
But
engaged, man. They're there.
yeah. Yeah,
So that's a
how
difference.
would you be otherwise? But
Uh, I'll
what would you
love if
do?
yeah.
What would you do if in a regular dojo, like commercial dojo, and then a lot of people are going to competition? Do you even want to change up the class structure for that to
Yeah.
accommodate those competitors?
Yes, for sure. If the majority of the guys are competing at a high level, if I have like
Yeah.
a dedicated intermediate, let's just say, for instance, right, I sent out an email to a dojo and said, hey, this is only for brown and black belts,
Yeah.
right? Come by. This is competition training specific. I'll do something like this. All right, guys, not even a warm up. Go right into
Yeah.
drilling light. Okay, that's your warm
Yeah.
up. If you need to stretch, you can stretch on the sideline, but 10 minutes
Yeah.
in, right? And then I'll show something that could benefit everybody.
Yeah.
And then we'll do drills. And then if I see a common mistake, right? And something common, for instance, like I saw this other day, people not throwing in and drilling feints,
Yeah.
right? And then sometimes it could be simple as this, like, guys, show the feints. And then people not really doing it. It's like when you're boxing, it's like head movement, right?
Yeah.
Because if you look at anybody intermediate, they're just fucking throwing their hands out. Okay, one,
Yeah.
2, 3, uppercut, bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
They're not really doing the defensive side of things,
Right. Right.
right? So show the defense, gaining position, show the feint, do the technique, right? If they're not doing it, I'll say it. And if they're not really doing it still, if the majority of the class is not doing it, I'll be like, all right, guys, bring it in. Look, listen, 20 seconds. Sometimes I'll say, stay where you are, just look inside. All right. Hey, come here. Right versus left. You see this? I can't just go for Ochi or Soto, Tai, Uchimata. Look, I'm feinting, switching directions, improving position, Tatoshi. Okay. You got to show and feint and improve position. You got to throw those in the drill. Okay. Go. Literally a 20-second instruction. Not like bring it
Mm.
in, not sit down, not cool down. All right, guys, look inside really quick. Sometimes saying right now, go do this. That's very helpful. So you keep them
Right.
moving the whole time. 20 minutes in, man, they're kind of tired. They're drilling, you know? And then
'Cause it's
things that
more important for them to do things
more important to
for
do.
competence.
And then, when they get tired, they sort of default back to the natural thing. What Gianni did, for the last 15 years at a different dojo growing up as a
Yeah.
kid, he starts defaulting to those. Like, hey, don't default to that, right? And I'm
Yeah.
actively kind of guiding him, right? No, don't do
Right.
this. Why are you switching from this hand position to that position? You don't have
Mhm.
anything there. Why are you throwing your hand over
Yeah.
the back, dude? You're not taller than the guy. Most of the guys you're gonna be fighting are not gonna be your height,
Mhm.
right? So don't drill that position because it's not gonna be useful for you. Right?
Mm.
Things
Mm.
like that. It's very short. It's very personalized. It's going to help them and it directs them. And now they're back in that direction. Right.
Right.
So like that would be sort of my method if I had like a room full of black belts and brown belts. And it's fun sometimes to have that kind of a thing. And that's the
Mhm.
goal, but and this is an excuse, but New York's tough because it's so transitory.
Yeah.
Judo's so tough
Right.
because people get injured. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
everyone in my dojo is working 9 to 5,
Mm.
9 to 7 even.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So we're
yeah.
making do with what we have. Um, and you got to see what your squad is like.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? Colton's sitting real nice because he's in a
New
area of New
Jersey,
Jersey
yeah,
and everyone's a local.
yeah.
No one's leaving. Right? If you can
Right,
keep those guys are all going to be great.
right,
You heard it here first. I'm
right.
telling you, if Colton does what he's doing for the next 5 years, his dojo's going to be
He's
one
gonna
of the
be yeah.
most dominant dojos in the country. You know, but I think that's what he
Nice.
wants, and he knows
Yeah.
how to do it. You know, he's got smart people
He's
around
done it
him,
himself and
done it
yeah.
himself. You know, so watch out for Colton Brown Judo Center.
Nice shout out. Yeah, I
Yeah,
follow them on Instagram, yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah.
anyway, that kind of stuff. You know, the how to make your better judo better instantly. ShintaroHigashi.com, free.
Yeah.
Right, like that stuff will help you. You know, for everybody. So you should teach that kind of stuff. You know,
Right, right, right.
yeah,
So the teach to the middle, but differentiate accordingly. So and
total engagement.
engagement is key.
Yeah,
Total engagement is key. Cool. All right, guys. I hope this was very helpful. I'm at learning a lot of things too.
yeah,
Sometimes I get asked to teach classes, but I already see my mistakes from
yeah,
this conversation. So hopefully, you guys got a lot out of this.
yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah, man. Foolproof method. Teach technique combination, teach a combination, teach a combination, go do
Yeah.
it, roll for the next 30 minutes. Sort of the jujitsu model. Everyone teaches that way, you know?
Yeah.
And there's nothing
Total
wrong with
engagement.
that
Yeah.
because that
Yeah.
you can kind of scale. You could have any black belt do it, be like, hey, teach these
Right.
3 combinations, and then everyone rolls for the last 30 minutes.
Yep.
You know, you could stick to that too, and you'll get enough people doing what they need to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good enough. Actually, I
Right.
don't want to say good enough. It's great enough if you can just keep to that.
Uh,
All right.
I see.
But if you could do better, if you could do
You could
better,
all do
and you could
this. Yeah.
really add a lot of value in the room, then you could take it sort of my approach. And sometimes you can just have each independent class be a seminar almost, you know?
Mm.
You can do that too,
Yeah.
as long as they're
That.
totally engaged.
Yeah.
Right? You mix it up, you know?
Cool.
So hopefully this was helpful. Might be more confusing
Yeah.
than anything, but go check out ShintaroHigashi.com and download your free video, how to make your judo better
Yeah.
immediately.
That's right.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks, guys, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.